Kicking off this video with colors, pastels definitely took over the runway, and we'll start by talking about powder pink. This is such a darling color to me, and I really feel like it emphasizes some of the other themes that we are going to be seeing throughout today's video, that being like romanticism, very girly, very feminine. And according to the WGSN, pastels in general this year grew by almost 2%, with one of the main colors being a neutral shade, which is going to lead us into our next color, which is vanilla yellow. In previous years, we saw a lot of butter yellow or bright yellows, but right now this kind of more like muted, watered down neutral yellow is what has been dominating the runways. I'm personally more of a butter yellow kind of gal, just because I think that that complements my skin tone. I feel like this more vanilla yellow is it's not as universal to pull off, even though butter yellow is kind of a hard color to pull off. I don't know. What are your thoughts about vanilla versus butter yellow? The next neutral color that we are going to be discussing is brown. Mocha Mousse is the Pantone color of the year, and also last fall, chocolate brown or just general shades of brown were just everywhere. It dominated the fall and winter time, and that is definitely continuing to spill over into spring and summer. It's just done in different silhouettes, so lots of flowy fabrics, not as dense materials, things that are more warm weather friendly. And finally, we are going to talk about pistachio green. Green has like been such a relevant color all throughout the years, but it always has like a different shade every single year, and pistachio green is our girl this year, and I love this one. In my opinion, the pink and the pistachio, and I'm gonna say the butter yellow, I don't know about vanilla, but definitely other shades of yellow are some of my favorites to wear, and so I'm really happy about these trending colors for this upcoming season. Also, it doesn't even really seem like that big of a surprise that these pastel and neutral colors are trending, just given what season we are going into. Obviously, pastels are going to be a lot more relevant. Also, hi, my name is Katie. I make fashion and sewing content here on YouTube, so if that interests you, I highly suggest you hit that subscribe button and join our fashion family. Anyways, back to the video. Okay, we're gonna get into like concepts and aesthetics in this section, and we're gonna kick it off with personal style. So this is just something that I have read through a couple different fashion articles, and also something that I have seen so many people online talking about, how they want to refine their personal style. They want to like just be a more like enhanced version of themselves through their clothes and through their accessories. And this kind of also ties into the next one that we are going to be talking about, which is maximalism. And I feel like the two go really well together because it's kind of like maximizing your personal style. I really love this concept because I just think it's really fun. In my opinion, fashion isn't something to be taken like so seriously. We all have different thoughts about it. We all want to express ourselves in different ways through it, and it's just fun to play dress up. But to dive a little bit deeper into the actual maximalist trend, it's colors, it's textures, it's embroidery, it's beads, it's fringe, it's accessories, it's bedazzled accessories, it's putting charms on your shoes, on your bags, and it's just kind of like any and all of the ways that you could think about being extra. That is what this whole trend is about, which again is so fun, and I love seeing stuff like this. I'm not a particularly maximalist dresser. Sometimes I am. Honestly, I'm staring at like a hot pink sequins gown like hanging in my room right now, so maybe I am a little bit of a maximalist. But again, I just feel like this type of trend just emphasizes how fashion is fun, and you can kind of just do and wear whatever you want, and that is just one of the joys of playing dress up. Moving into our next like concept or aesthetic, and it is romanticism. So this is kind of tied into like a few things. Like I think like romanticism is like the umbrella, and then there's some things that are falling under it. First off, like florals, frills, bows, girly things, like just kind of anything like that could fall under this category. The pastel pink, the pastel green. But one of Pinterest's One of the trends that Pinterest forecast at the beginning of this year was the rise of Rococo style fashion. And I feel like Bridgerton really did a number on all of us in terms of influencing fashion and aesthetics and, you know, things of that nature. Like the corsets, the bloomers, the ruffles, like the frills. And I love this so much. I think it is such a fun and girly trend. It's personally one that I want to participate in. For me personally, this just fits my aesthetic, which is why I like it a lot. I would also argue that like cottagecore is under here. This one is like so fun. It's really, for me, this is on such a personal level, but I feel like it's really connecting into like my inner child of like just wanting to play princess and play dress up. And so I like that it is such like a popular thing right now. And okay, this actually might be an unpopular opinion, but I know that so many people hate on, oh, there's too many aesthetics, there's too many core this, core that, which like, yeah, there is, but I personally love it. I feel like it's really helpful and really useful when you are defining like what your personal style is. It's really helpful to be able to type in a term to like Pinterest and get like outfit inspiration. Okay, anyways, rant aside, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Upscale athleisure. And I love this one. I am also a yoga and Pilates teacher, so I just kind of like live in workout clothes. And it's so fun when you blend like fashion and fitness together. So I personally really like this trend because again, it kind of touches into my girly girl aspect. It kind of touches into my like fitness side of life, which is just fun. But under this like umbrella term, there are a few different things that are happening. There's definitely the Pilates princess ballet core side of all of it happening. There's kind of like the like Adidas, Nike, like sportswear side of it, but we're also seeing a lot of like moto style things popping up in these past few seasons. And all right, the next aesthetic that we are going to be diving into is bohemian goddess, kind of reminiscent of like the early 2000s, like 2010s bohemian. And we can't talk about the bohemian trend without talking about Isabel Marant. She is like, I feel like the face of this trend. I think that like with the rise of like maximalism and personal style, it really brought back this bohemian vibe. I think like there's so many people who love to dress this way, and it was out of trend for I feel like so long. And so I feel like there's this huge like revival of everyone kind of stepping back into like this boho chic aesthetic. And I think that it's just going to be super, super relevant, especially in like festival season. But I think summer we're going to have like the peak of it. I think it's going to be really hot, and then I think it's also going to transition into like fall and winter with lots of fun layers, mixing textures. The last aesthetic that we are going to talk about, I'm just coining it aquatic because there's so many different things under it. And first is the fisherman aesthetic, which is so funny. I would define this as like not even what fishermen actually wear, but like what you would wear fishing if you were a fashion girly, just kind of going for the vibes. So like hunter boots, like the sweater, like, you know, probably like a basket of some kind. It feels like impractical fisherman. I know that there is like also a more realistic side of it too, but a lot of what I have personally been seeing on my Pinterest board has kind of been this more like, you got the tall socks, you got the tall hunter boots, you got the sweater, you got the cutesy little shorts, you got like a little bandana in your head. And then also another aesthetic, fisherman aesthetic was one of Pinterest predictions, but another one, it was like the sea witch, or like the sea siren. And this one is just like mermaid core again. Mermaid core is always something that is super relevant in the spring and the summer, just because that is very summery, it's beachy, it's fun, it's cute. Something else that I am seeing as like more of a specific trend, wet jewelry, like teardrop dewy, like wet looking jewelry. And I feel like this is going to be like a huge thing that we're seeing a lot of, or that everyone is going to want to get their hands on as we go into summer. Okay, next we are going to get into silhouettes and specific pieces. The first one is draped clothing. This is something that I have also been talking about for so many years. I feel like a lot of what we were seeing last year was like draped necklines or draped sleeves and things like that. But this year specifically, I am personally noticing a lot of draped skirts or like draped at the waist, like dresses and things of that nature. Okay, this is something that I have been getting so many advertisements for and seeing so many variations of, and it's this little cardigan sweater with like the feather trim down the front and on the sleeves. It gives very Lizzie McGuire, and I am so here for this one. I don't know if I'll personally like get something like that. Maybe I'll make something like that, but I don't know if I would like run out and like immediately grab that, even though I want it. You know, it would totally fill my little inner child's dreams of being able to dress like Lizzie McGuire, which is such a vibe. So who knows, maybe I will more heavily participate in that trend more than I think I will, but it's just something that I've been noticing, so I just wanted to include it in this video. Tying into this kind of upscale athleisure aesthetic that we talked about earlier is like very slim sneakers. That is going to be the vibe for this summer. The Puma Speed Cat. Those sneakers are like what the girlies are going to be wearing. I definitely think like the Sambas are still going to be a relevant shoe. They were like the shoe last year. Everyone was wearing them. And this year, I think it's going to be the Puma Speed Cat. Another shoe that I think is going to be incredibly popular, Hunter rain boots. I think that these are on the rise back. I think it's largely due to this fisherman aesthetic and this kind of like nautical East Coast marine vibe that is coming back. But alongside that like vibe that I was talking about with like the sweater and like the bandana, it kind of also gives like coastal grandma a little bit, but this is more of like East Coastal grandma, not like a West Coast grandma. The last shoe that we're going to talk about in this video is the thong sandals, and this was like a big trend last year, but I don't think it hit its like fullest popularity. I think that this summer though, it is going to be like one of the summer shoes and everyone is going to want to wear them. I really like the look of it. I feel like it is kind of a timeless piece. I feel like specific versions of this will look more dated as the years go on, but then other versions will just kind of be like, yeah, it's a sandal. Moving on, we are going to talk about 3D flowers on clothes, and this is not anything new. This has been going on for a couple of years now, but it's again just slightly different. I've been personally noticing a lot of like the same color and fabric 3D flowers, like just like attached and sewn on to pieces, and I think this is fun. You know, I just think it's cute, it's girly, it falls under that like romantic umbrella that we were talking about earlier in the video, and I just think it's playful. I think it also falls under the maximalist category as well, of like textures and, you know, just being extra. But I think it's fun. I like this one. Next is silky sets. And these are like silky sets that kind of look like pajamas, but people are wearing them as like outfits. And I think that this is so beautiful. It kind of gives like nighttime vibes, but like that makes sense because they're like silky PJs, but they're being worn in a like everyday setting, which I love. Like, first off, how comfortable, and I feel like it's kind of giving like the oversized linen button-down shirt and like boxer short vibes, but like the girly sister to that. This one is kind of one of those ones that like it borderlines like those are just pajamas or that's an outfit that you can wear outside of the house. And this, I think that this is like a perfect throw on and go summer outfit when you just kind of need something that is a breathable, comfortable fabric and you just don't want to like spend too much time thinking about your outfit. The last trend that we are going to be talking about in this video is maxi tops, and I think that this also ties in a lot to the bohemian trend coming back in, but there's also lots of different aesthetics that this top is in, not just in this like boho way, but I'm seeing very like girly, flouncy, pretty ways. I'm seeing, you know, the full-on like bohemian ways as well. It really depends on like, you know, where you're getting it from and what your style is, but I love this trend. I think it's so cute. It totally gives early 2000s. I did recently do a thrift flip video where I made one of these tops and I love it. Anyways, anyways, that is going to wrap up this trends video. There are so many other things in fashion happening right now, and this was all I had time to talk about for today's video, but I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me, and I want to know what your personal favorite trends are at the moment. If you like any of the ones that I talked about, if you don't like any of the ones that I talked about, I'm just super curious to know. Anyways, until next time, bye friends!